The following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Welcome into a Friday edition of Main Street Sports. Today, I'm Chris Yow, joined as always by the Hall of Famer Mo Patton and Justin Kulik on the controls. Glad to have you guys with us here. It is Friday, which means we are getting you ready for all of the weekend's shenanigans. There will be a lot of them. It is Cupcake Weekend in the SEC. So just handing out cupcakes like it's a birthday party.
I'm gonna tell you what. Shane Beamer may not appreciate that too much.
Well, for the most part, it's Cupcake Week. I mean, there are two SEC games this week, I think. So, for the most part, everybody's got a cupcake on the schedule, and that's okay. And all apologies to Austin P. But
well, I mean, here's
comparatively speaking,
if you're playing what is it, an 8-game schedule in the SEC?
It's eight games, yeah.
You deserve a cupcake.
Well, everybody else plays 9, and that's why they hate the SEC.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
let's look at the entire SEC's non-conference, though. I mean,
Look,
one of Georgia's 4 non-conference was Oregon. They can't help that Oregon was awful.
Oregon's still not bad, folks.
So I mean,
well, the Big Ten will tell you we play a 9-game schedule and require an Power 5 out of conference team. But that's
the Big Ten needs that help.
Well, I was going to say it's a lot. When you get to play, 3 Vanderbilts a year.
You're just going to piss everybody off today, aren't you?
Listen, Vanderbilt is well, I guess Kentucky, but Vanderbilt is last in the SEC consistently. So, you've got Rutgers, you've got Northwestern, you've got Nebraska, you've got, gosh, who else? I would say Illinois, but
no.
Now Indiana.
Not right now.
Indiana has gone back to what they were.
To be in Indiana.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, you're playing – you need the extra help. We don't. Anyway, it's Cupcake Weekend.
It's Cupcake Weekend.
And I'm excited about it because that means that I get to watch everybody else play. This is one of those weekends where I get to see a lot of the other teams around the country, and I like that. This is a unique weekend, and it's always fun. So
I tell you what, I've taken to Chris since you pointed it out to me a few weeks ago. One of the first things I do on Saturdays when I get up is I check out that Projection Sports account. Is that right? Projection Sport on Twitter, and get the color-coded football on TV today and kind of map out my day from there. And that's one reason that I hope that platform continues to exist, because it's
right,
kind of helpful.
I mean, I don't know where we're going to go otherwise, but yeah, this is one of those weekends. And then Sunday, kind of get a day off. I mean, because I don't really care about anybody else in the NFL. So
really, yeah, exactly.
It's kind of a day off on Sunday. So maybe we'll go do some Christmas stuff or something on Sunday.
Honeydews. You gonna get Chandler out of the house?
She made her first trip to Kroger today. So hope she enjoyed that. I don't know what else you do.
More than her mom did.
Justin, is it what is it called? The thing at the zoo? Zoolumination?
Correct. That is correct.
Zoolumination, yeah.
Yeah, that started up today. So who knows?
Y'all going to that?
You gonna take
at some point?
Yeah.
Have you been to that before, Chris?
I have not been before.
We went 2 or 3 years ago. Jody's grandkids were in town, which means my grandkids were in town. But we went down there, and it was really cool, man. I took a million pictures, and it's really nice. If you guys get a chance to go, you should. Well, I recommend it highly.
I definitely think we're going to at some point, whether it be now or after Christmas. But it's going to be. There's no better time than Sunday. Again, there's no football to watch. So
now, I mean, obviously, to get the full, we went at night. I would think to get the full effect, you got to go after dark. So just
so 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's the good thing is we can hopefully get there. We get there at dusk, get through this thing, get home by bedtime at 7. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. But yeah, the goal also today is to get into the Titans game last night. I know Mo has bragging rights. Now, whether or not he chooses to exercise them is up to him. But he currently holds the bragging rights, which is good.
Sometimes it's better to just hold them than to exercise them.
There you go. you know,
you know it's there. You just kind of keep it in your back pocket.
And if you ever have to just say, "Look, scoreboard," just scoreboard. That's all you got to say.
Well, and as we're so fond of saying, that's a long way to go.
Oh, yes, it is. But
yeah,
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the SEC's weekend ahead, as well as several of the games across the country that are pretty massive this weekend, and we'll get into those in our pick'ems. So all of that and much, much more coming to you. But Mo,
Chris,
take a drink. And take a breath.
Bro, this is the longest rundown I've ever seen in my life.
This
I didn't even look.
This is the old. This is exactly what we've seen. We've seen this before, Mo.
This is the overlap.
This is the overlap. This is girls and boys basketball, and you've got weekend stuff. So,
and you got football.
Yeah, this is tough, but we got to do it. So we might as well get you to it. Yesterday's results, today's schedule, or this weekend schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support youth sports across Middle Tennessee.
All right, girls basketball results from last night. Blackman 36, Blackman 60, Knoxville Webb 36. Heck of a way to start. Clarksville 55-37 winners over Green Hill. Father Ryan 46, Dixon County 28. Richland 55-30 over Elkmont of Alabama. Ezel Harding a 68-47 winner over Grace Franklin. Gallatin 68, Siegel 55. Pope John Paul II, or Pope Prep, falls to Greenbrier 58-39. It was Hendersonville 52, Friendship Christian 20, Independence 46-40 winners over Laverne, while Lawrence County got a 67-45 win over Rogers of Alabama. It was Lebanon 63, Clarksville Academy 54, Lincoln County 60-23 over Giles County, Providence Christian 46-39 over Lipscomb Academy, while Middle Tennessee Christian was a 51-32 winner over Brentwood. Page 70, Mount Juliet 34, Nolensville 48, Fairview 20. Riverdale 58, Kenwood 28, Rockville over Ravenwood 64-60, Wayne County big win over Summertown. I bet that was a heck of a ball game, 65-61 the final there. And finally Portland 45, White House Heritage 22.
In boys basketball action on Thursday night, it was Stewart County defeating Clarksville Christian 50-35. Richland with a 63-61 win over Elkmont, Alabama. Ezel Harding defeated Franklin Grace 62-60. It was Gallatin 51, Siegel 42. Good Pasture with an 82-38 win over Nashville Central Christian. Pope Prep 74, Greenbrier 51. Hendersonville with a 57-50 win over Friendship Christian. Independence down Laverne 74-57. Lawrence County 73, Rogers, Alabama 52. Clarksville Academy with a 60-55 win over Lebanon. Antioch defeated Lighthouse Christian of Antioch 84-34. Giles County with the 70-59 win over Lincoln County. Providence defeated Lipscomb Academy 54-33. Mount Juliet with the 53-49 win over Page. Fairview goes to 2-0 with their 57-43 win over Nolensville. Riverdale with a 66-45 win against Kenwood. Ravenwood edged Rockvale 48-44. Smyrna down Chattanooga School of Arts and Sciences 60-48. Summertown with a 61-56 win at Wayne County, and White House Heritage defeated Portland 49-46.
In NHL action, the Preds with a 5-4 win over the Islanders. And in women's college basketball action, Cumberland down went Lindsey Wilson 83-70. Campbellsville, number 3 in the country, 83-60 winners over UT Southern. It was Tennessee Tech 69, Trevecca 52, and Vanderbilt taking care of Austin Peay 70-61. In men's action, Cumberland took down Lindsey Wilson as well, 84-69. The UT Southern men avenged the female loss, 92-52 over Campbellsville. Austin Peay 62-60 winners at South Florida, big win there. And Southern Illinois downs Tennessee State 57-44.
High school football postseason action tonight at 6 o'clock. Christ Presbyterian Academy goes to Chattanooga Christian. Also at 6 o'clock, Lipscomb Academy is at Knoxville Webb. The rest of these are all 7 o'clock kicks. Baylor is at Brentwood Academy. Beach is at Cane Ridge. Chattanooga Tyner comes to East Robertson. Friendship Christian hosts University School of Jackson. Giles County has Sweetwater at the Brickyard in Pulaski. Springfield making that long drive to Paris to take on Henry County. Procon is at Lexington. McCallie comes to Nashville to face the Big Red of Montgomery Bell Academy. Nashville Christian hosts Jackson Christian. Page is at Nolensville. Blackman is at Oakland. And East Nashville goes to Smith County.
Doubleheader basketball action tonight starting at 6 o'clock. All of these 6 p.m. tips. East Nashville's at Brainerd. Creekwood is at Cheatham County. East Hickman hosting Santa Fe. Mount Juliet Christian goes to Merrill Hyde, while Clarksville Northeast is at Republic. Station Camp hosts Rossview, while Montgomery Central goes to Stewart County, and Hampshire is at Zion Christian.
Girls basketball matchups, both these at 6 o'clock. Maplewood is at McGavock, and West Creek is at Sycamore. Those are girls only contests. And boys basketball only action at 4 o'clock. Hendersonville Christian travels to Mount Pisgah Christian. 7 o'clock, Memphis Hillcrest is at Knowledge Academies. Also, White House is at Red Boiling Springs. And at 7:30, Nashville Overton is at Memphis Overton.
There you go. Girls basketball action.
Overton's going to win that one.
Yes, Overton will, in fact, win that one. Tomorrow, high school basketball action. Girls.
Yes.
That's right. This is the rundown. Girls basketball play starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and most of these are in classics.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's going to be at 10 a.m. Westmoreland at Gallatin. Wilson Central takes on Independence. Not
at
sure.
Summit.
At Summit, okay. Beach is taking on Brentwood at 10:30.
Don't know where.
Nashville Christian is at Summit at 1 o'clock. At 1:30, Livingston Academy and Hendersonville will play. At 2 o'clock, Riverdale at Cleveland. Kenwood at Davidson Academy. At 3 o'clock, Brentwood and Mount Juliet take the floor. At 3:30, Page and Summertown will play somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And at 4 o'clock, Clarksville Northwest is at Gallatin, and Nashville Christian and Independence again at Summit.
Right. 5 o'clock over at Coffee County. Fayetteville, this can't be right.
I don't know which one is which.
I'm pretty sure it's Coffee County and Columbia Academy. I don't think it's Fayetteville and Columbia Academy at 5 o'clock over at Coffee County. Dyersburg plays Stewart's Creek at 5 o'clock. Hillwood's girls play at Pope Prep at 5:30. Christ Presbyterian is playing somebody at 6 at home. We don't know who. Murfreesboro Central is at Coffee County at 6. Mount Juliet is at Creekwood at 6. Mount Pleasant plays Franklin Classical at 6 at the Franklin Fieldhouse. Battleground Academy plays Christ Presbyterian at 6:15. Camden plays at Harpeth at 6. Liberty Creek hosts White House Heritage at 6. And Wilson Central plays at Summit at 7, all in girls action.
Boys action tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Creekwood hosting the Tennessee Heat. At 10 o'clock, it's Red Bank and Murfreesboro Central Magnet. At 10:30, Smith County and Hendersonville. 11:15, Page at Coffee County. 11:30, Oakland at Gallatin. At noon, it'll be Tennessee Heaton Beach. At 12:30, Murfreesboro Central Magnet and Summertown. At 1 o'clock, Pope Prep hosting Hunters Lane. Also at 1, Knoxville Webb taking on Clarksville Academy. At 2:30, it's Hillcrest at Lead Academy. At 2:45, Innsworth and Hillsboro. Talk about staggering start times. At 4:30 tips, we've got Brentwood Academy and Webb School. Also Mount Juliet and Beach. At 5:30, it's Northwest at Gallatin, and then Wilson Central and Independence. Also at 5:30, York Institute and Columbia Academy. At 5:45, you said that's at Coffee County, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fayetteville's at Richland at 6 o'clock. Dyersburg at Stewart's Creek at 6:30. At 7 o'clock, Pope Prep hosting Hillwood. Mount Pleasant is at Franklin Classical at 7:30. Also at 7:30, Camden Central and at Harpeth. White House Heritage at Liberty Creek. Battleground Academy at CPA at 8:15. And Kenwood is at Davidson Academy. Time undetermined.
Women's college basketball action at 4 o'clock today. Lipscomb plays San Diego in the Bank of Hawaii Classic. I assume that's in Hawaii. On Saturday, Rutgers takes on Tennessee at 11 a.m. Central in the battle for Atlantis. That game can be seen on Flow Hoops if you have it. At 1 o'clock, Campbellsville is at Cumberland. Also at 1 o'clock, Lane College is at Fisk. Missouri St. Louis is at Trevecca, and UT Southern hosts Lindsey Wilson. On Sunday, Vanderbilt hosts St. Joseph's. That's a 2 p.m. tip, and it can be seen on SEC Network Plus. At 2 o'clock on the Big Ten Network Plus, Belmont is at Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Also, on Sunday at 6 o'clock on ESPN Plus, you've got Lipscomb at Hawaii in the Bank of Hawaii Classic, and Tennessee continues in the battle for Atlantis on Sunday. Don't know who, don't know when. Junior college women's basketball action on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Columbia State goes to Walter State, and Cleveland State visits Volunteer State at 3 o'clock.
In men's basketball action at the Paradise Jam, Tarleton State and Belmont at 4:45 on Friday. That can be seen on ESPN3. At 6 o'clock tonight, Vanderbilt hosting Morehead State. You can see it on SEC Network Plus. And Lipscomb is at Notre Dame. 6 p.m. tip on ESPN Plus. On Saturday, MTSU will be at Missouri State. It's a 2 o'clock tip on ESPN3. Campbellsville is at Cumberland following that women's game, as is Lindsey Wilson at UT Southern following the women. Belmont also continues their play at the Paradise Jam on Saturday and Sunday. They'll get the winner or loser of the Belmont Gardner Webb game. So there you go. In junior college basketball action, Columbia State is at Walter State. Cleveland State's at Vol State. Both of those will follow women's matchups. On Saturday in NHL action, puck drop at 7 p.m. at Bridgestone Arena. When the Tampa Bay Lightning come to town, and you can see it on Bally Sports South if you are not in attendance.
Preds going for their 4th straight win.
Hey.
In college football action this weekend at 11 tomorrow morning on the SEC Network Plus, you can see Austin Peay at Alabama. Cupcake weekend. Florida is at Vanderbilt at 1 p.m. Is that 1 p.m. or is that 11 a.m.?
It's 11 a.m.
It's 11 a.m. I knew it wasn't 1 a.m. So, okay. Florida is at First Bank Stadium to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores at 11 a.m. on the SEC Network. At 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus, you can see Tennessee State at Tennessee A&M Commerce.
Texas A&M.
What did I say? Tennessee
A&M?
Good Lord, no, I'm sorry. Texas A&M Commerce. TSU is at Texas A&M Commerce. 2 o'clock ESPN Plus. At 2:30 on ESPN Plus, Florida Atlantic is at Middle Tennessee State, and at 6 o'clock on ESPN, Tennessee travels to South Carolina. NBA action this weekend on Friday tonight, 7 o'clock, Bally Sports Southeast. The Oklahoma City Thunder comes to FedEx Forum, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. And on Sunday at 6 on Bally Sports Southeast, the Grizzlies travel to Brooklyn, baby, taking on the host Nets. And that is your rundown.
That was a lot.
Very, very well done.
It just was. It just was a lot. Okay.
That was a lot.
All right, so let's take our top story kind of flows into our next topic. So we'll take our top story on the other side of a break. So you guys stick around here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. We react to the Titans and our top story right after this. Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731 and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Mo Patton coming to you live on this Friday. Glad to have you with us as we are getting ready to react to the Titans and Packers. But our top story comes from, well, the Titans camp as offensive coordinator Todd Downing does not make a great decision on his way home last night, choosing to drive home while allegedly intoxicated. And
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah, that's right. It's still allegedly. Look, trust me, there's I have seen a lot of DUI cases in this state go away.
That weren't. Yeah.
That weren't. Yeah. So allegedly, Todd Downing travels home under the influence, is picked up by Tennessee Highway Patrol and booked into the Williamson County Jail. Now, this obviously is an ongoing legal situation. I don't want to get too far into it, but it's just not a good idea. One, to be speeding at 3 o'clock in the morning, because who else is the police out there looking for? I mean, let's be honest here. But yeah, so apparently he was down near the McEwen exit when he was picked up.
I never did see a location. I just saw that obviously it occurred in Williamson County. No idea where he lives or anything like that. But yeah, it's obviously an unfortunate circumstance there. It's interesting, and I'm sure that the Titans aren't talking a whole lot about it, but I mean, I wonder what the timeline is. I mean, that game got over with at what, 20 after 10-ish, and they had to get all of their post game and then get out of there and get back in here. And there wasn't anywhere for him to go when he got back to Nashville, was there? Theoretically,
other than home.
Yeah, I mean, as in terms of, I'm trying to figure out how he got himself in the position to be driving under the influence. if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, my guess is that they probably have some libations available on the charter
And
flight, right?
and that's my concern, and that's a concern that if you've been paying attention on social media platforms, that a lot of people have brought up. How, if that was the case, did he drive?
Again, that's why you have to say allegedly in this case,
Mhm.
because
In most cases.
hey, who knows? Maybe this highway patrolman has, the same feelings about his offensive game plans that we do. I mean, I don't know that.
But last night was the best game Todd Downing has called.
Well, maybe this guy didn't know.
Or maybe he didn't get to watch because he was
He
working.
didn't watch it because he's working. I don't know. But yeah, so according to TitanInsider.com, obviously Terry McCormick, who broke the story this morning, it was, I think, about 8 o'clock when I saw his story come up.
I don't think it had been up very long at that point.
No, it was about 8:17, I think, when he posted the story this morning. Obviously, it's been updated since then. But he was pulled over at 4:39 a.m., released from custody at 6:46. I'm sorry, he was booked at 4:39, released at 6:46. A THP trooper around 2:30 a.m. was patrolling 65 southbound from Moore's Lane when he observed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed. The trooper conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle, made contact with the driver, Todd Downing. The trooper observed signs of impairment and the smell of an intoxicant coming from the vehicle. He was placed under arrest for driving under the influence and booked into Williamson County Jail.
So he was observed at Moore's Lane and pulled over at McEwen?
No. I couldn't remember if it was McEwen or Moore's, but apparently it was Moore.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying there, because
I guess
as a resident of that general area, I had questions.
Yeah, no, he would have been traveling northbound if he was going from Moore's to McEwen.
No.
Right? No? Okay, no, you're right. McEwen is the one that's south. That's all right. So I keep getting them mixed up. But either way, it's certainly interesting, 2:30. Yeah, that would make sense. Driving home from, I can't imagine if he was just, stupid drunk that anybody from the Titans organization would have let him leave in his car. Did you hear me?
You cut out on me. You said if he was, you can't imagine if he was stupid drunk than anybody from the Titans, and that was
let him leave.
Yeah, that was kind of the point that I was trying to get to, or so. It's interesting. I mean,
certainly is.
And the thing is, I don't know how much more we're going to know about it. I don't know how much more we need to know about it.
There you go.
It's an unfortunate occurrence, and in the interest of trying to be fair and even-handed, I'm just going to leave it at that.
That's sure. But, as we all know, it's, it's like this joke a guy wrote. He said, if I'm ever at a party and I don't want anybody to talk to me, I just stand in the corner and pretend I'm an elephant. Because nobody addresses the elephant in the room. And I thought that's a great joke. If Mitch Hedberg were here to tell it, it would be an even better
joke.
Joke.
that sounds like a Mitch Hedberg joke. And the fact that you didn't reference him at the beginning told me that it wasn't, but that does sound like something Mitch would have said. Yeah.
Oh, no question. But yeah, we want to address the elephants in the room anytime we can. But the other elephant is the Titans offense, as you said, Mo. I don't know that, and I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that Todd Downing called any better of a game last night than he had. I do think the opposition had a lot to do with the success of his game plan. Although I do think, and we've seen this all year long, his scripted drives have been far better than his unscripted drives, whereas last year it was his scripted drives that struggled.
So he's scripting better.
He's flipped the script, as I said and tweeted last night.
Yeah, and that made me roll my eyes when I saw it then too. So, yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting that he's been able to kind of make that adjustment. So it kind of makes you feel like, well, if he can adjust that, he's got to find a happy medium somewhere in the future, potentially. I mean,
Maybe.
hopefully. But yeah, he still called, and there was someone last after that Chiefs game who said, I feel like Todd Downing has a list of gimmick plays that he has to call every week. Like he is a watch me coach kind of guy based off of some of these play calls. I mean,
Well, which one last night though?
well, the jump pass
Oh,
particularly.
okay, yeah. Okay.
You know, you had the flea flicker last week. It
Oh,
just,
yeah.
and I'm not saying that they weren't successful, because clearly they were, both of them.
Right.
But some against good sound defenses, that's kind of stuff doesn't work as well. And last night, as we said yesterday on this show, they weren't playing a very sound defense.
No. And you know, there will be those who will find it hard to believe, but they got some help from 12 last night.
Herbstreit and Michaels mentioned some sort of tweak or an injury.
I'm not trying to hear that.
And I
I'm
mean,
so tired.
because he was
I'm
he was
tired of
so
folks
good.
giving him a pass or a crutch or whatever it is you want to call it. He wasn't very good last night. He missed wide open receivers last night.
He missed wide open receivers after the alleged injury occurred. Before that, he dropped dimes. That's what I'm. That's what I'm thinking.
When was the alleged injury? Because I didn't see.
I think he got hit on a sack in the third quarter, maybe. And that's what they were referencing, was he was hit and kind of limped off the field or something. Look, I don't know, but if you're limping, depending on which leg it is, you could understand some balls selling on him. And in the second half, he just looked like he could not get anything to wide open guys. I mean, there were a couple passes, one in particular that I can see it in my head, that there was nobody within 15 yards of a Packers receiver, and he just threw it over his head.
Over his head.
It was wild. And I'm like, that's unusual. So yes, they did certainly get some help last night from Aaron Rodgers. And at times I thought, this guy's going to, torch this defense. Mainly because Jeffrey Simmons wasn't 100% and wasn't able to get to the quarterback as well.
He got to him once late, though.
But he did get to him late. He got David Long was all over the field. You got to give that kid, golly, that guy's just a monster. The defense, once again, and again, offense played great, but the Tennessee Titans defense that's what this team's built on. That's what they're going to win with.
And as Mike Vrabel has said on multiple occasions, that's how we're going to have to win.
And they are.
And I thought, there was one point that Herbstreit and Michaels kind of beat on last night, and I don't think they really got it. They talked about how relatively unproductive Derrick Henry was. I don't know what his numbers were in the end. I think 86 yards on 28 carries at one point, which put him over the 1,000-yard mark for the year, by the way. But they talked about it taking him 28 carries to get to 86 yards. What got lost in that to me was, if you're the Titans going into that ball game, your best defense against Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers not being on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And by being able to run the ball 28 times with Derrick Henry, the time of possession, and they did talk about that at times throughout the game, the time of possession, and I know that there are those that will tell you that that's one of the most overrated stats in football. But if Aaron Rodgers ain't on the field, he can't beat you.
And
if Derrick
absolutely.
Henry is running the ball 28 times, Aaron Rodgers ain't on the field.
Exactly. Because if he's not running it 28 times for 35 yards.
No, he's being productive, but even at that, they're eating up clock.
They were eating that drive in the second quarter that didn't even result in points on the 4th and 1 was still, that may have been the biggest, most important drive of the game, because it set them up in poor field position. Probably could have been a safety on the intentional grounding call. And then you get the ball back at the 40, go down and score. So not only did you eat up the 10 minutes of clock time on that drive, you ate up all the clock time that they went on their 3 and out, plus the next drive. You had the ball for nearly 15 minutes right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got points out of it in the end. It was a really good football game. But again, we finally saw Ryan Tannehill able to find some receivers. A lot of folks, a lot of Green Bay folks, very upset, saying your defensive backs are way better than these wide receivers. Why are we playing off soft zones? And it certainly appeared that's what they were doing. They were playing soft zones, hoping that Tannehill would make a mistake, and instead he was picking them apart.
Well, with that one exception.
Well, that was a really good play. Nobody expects that guy to just sprint back into the deep third.
Right.
I mean, it was just that was just heads up play there and a heads up call. But yeah, I mean, that was the lone exception to a phenomenal game played by the wide receivers and Ryan Tannehill.
Absolutely. Tannehill, 22 of 27 for 333 and a pair of touchdowns, along with the one interception. Of course, Derrick Henry, 2 of 2 for 4 yards with a touchdown. I don't remember a second pass.
Somebody else said that, and I don't know unless it was one of those handed off and it was a reverse or some sort.
Oh, there was. He was in the King Cat, and it was like that little shovel pass.
That's it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But welcome to the league, Traylon Burks, 7 catches for 111 yards. One of those late.
Apparently, did you see the side-by-side comparison of why someone said that the Titans threw that ball late?
Mm-mm.
So apparently, and Justin, you can remind me of this if I get it wrong, but when the Titans played there the last time, it was like 33-14, and Rodgers threw a deep ball down the left sideline with about 5 minutes to go in the game, and it was the exact same play.
I mean, I believe that's correct. Yeah.
If you look at those plays side by side, you're like, oh, okay. And so,
and here's the thing, man, Vrabes is just petty enough.
Absolutely. He is a level of petty to which I aspire.
Yep. And here's my thing. Once you get it down there, you might as well go on and punch it in.
A lot of folks kind of said that about Tennessee. Is like, it's kind of more insulting to take a knee inside the 5. And as Michael's,
we could score, we just choose not to.
That's right. We're choosing not to. But as Michael's alluded, that did stop a 10 consecutive first and goal touchdown streak.
They chose
not. and Herbie was like, "This don't count. Come on, this doesn't count." You just got to put an asterisk by this one.
What is it about Tennessee teams throwing deep late in games that they're in control of, Chris?
Somebody said that the entire state feels like it needs style points, so North Alabama better watch out against Memphis this weekend.
Ooh.
Found that clip of Green Bay doing that.
Yeah, let's see it. Is this the side by side? Oh yeah. Okay. Watch. Just watch this, because that's Devontae right there. So it's the exact same play.
Oh, wow.
And as you can see, the Packers were up 33-14 at the time with under 4 to go in the game. Throwing that crap.
Hey,
So,
stop them. You know,
exactly. I thought it was great. And what a great catch that by Burks. And how about that throw to Austin Hooper?
oh, the one that the touchdown that almost wasn't,
Yeah.
that they almost missed.
I love that the replay called down and called that a touchdown. That's pretty cool. So we lost Mo again.
I'm back.
He's back
I'm
again.
back.
But
Tell a friend.
Anyway, big game, big win for the Titans. Like I said, 7-3 is huge. Puts them right up there at the top of the AFC before everybody else gets their bye. The Titans got an early bye this year, so they're kind of behind on the on the record from everybody else. But yeah, let's take a break, Mo, and come back. We'll talk college football the rest of the way. We've got SEC coming up after this, and then college football pick'em a little bit later. So stick around right here on Main Street Sports Today. This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee sports editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama. So the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice. Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Mo Patton coming to you on this Friday edition. Got a little local Southern Middle Tennessee news to put out before we get into SEC football, Mo.
Yeah, couple of standouts from Columbia Academy softball team that won. How many straight state championships is it now? Three. Okay.
Well, yeah. They won it in 19,
21, and 22. Yeah. So each of the last 3 state tournaments that have been played, they've won. But anyway, 2 of their seniors on this team this spring, Chloe Carter and Tori Duvall, signed scholarships during a ceremony at the school yesterday. Chloe Carter signing with Freed Hardeman and Tori Duvall with Towson up in Maryland. So just wanted to mention and congratulate them as Seth Anderson continues rolling them out there. So big deal for those 2 seniors.
Yeah,
and
Towson is an interesting choice.
I think she has ties up that way. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have more on the website at mainstreetmurray.com and in next week's print edition on Wednesday. So
Towson is where 7th-year quarterback Tyrell Pigram of Clay Chalkville and former Maryland quarterback is playing right now.
He's at Towson now?
Yes.
Wow.
In his 7th year.
Now, didn't he go to Western at some point?
He was at Western last year or year before last, before Zappy. So year before last. And yeah, so there's that. And the guy he was competing with is former UAB quarterback Tyler Johnston III. The 2 of them played against each other in the 2015 Class 6A state football championships in Alabama.
You said 2016?
15.
Wow.
It's insane.
It really is. It really is.
How?
You know who else went to Towson?
Who's that?
Zion Christian football coach Kurt Beathard.
Oh, really? Hey,
Yeah.
how about Zion Christian and Jaron Kaiser making the Gatlinburg All-American game for 8-man football?
Wow.
Good for him.
Look at you out there breaking news.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter this morning.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, we've got a couple of actually several kind of local interest games in the Southeastern Conference. Austin P is at Alabama. We mentioned that earlier. That's an 11 a.m. kick on the SEC Network Plus, and Austin P, according to the ESPN analytics, has a 0.4% chance of winning the game.
0.4.
Led by former Middle Tennessee State quarterback Mike DeLello, who is thrown for 21 touchdowns and 9 picks on the year, and CJ Evans.
So let me get this right. So if Austin P has a 0.4% chance, then Alabama has a 99.6% chance of winning the game. Is that?
That's correct.
That's all.
I mean, Austin P is 7-3. Yeah,
that's a tough one. That's a tough matchup for Scotty Walden and the Governors.
Yes, it is. And again, this is one of those games where and here's Austin P is kind of still in this little. They're in a potential fight for the OVC. I mean, ASUN WAC, whatever it is. There's 37 different. The ASUN WAC auto bid.
The ASUN WAC auto bid.
Yeah, because the ASUN doesn't have enough teams to get an auto bid, so they have
the WAC doesn't either. So
the WAC doesn't. Yeah. So I don't know who's going to get the auto bid there, but Austin P is in that fight. So
okay.
I don't this one. So you kind of hope that you just don't get hurt.
That's the biggest thing I would think for the Cupcake in these matchups, particularly when they've got postseason hopes. And I mean, what's Austin P got left?
Next week I think they have maybe one game left. I'm not entirely sure. I think this might be it for them.
Oh, well. that would
it is it. This is it for them. Yep. Their 3 losses this year: Western in week 1, which they had some opportunities to win. Central Arkansas, 49-20, who is also in that fight for the auto bid, and then Jacksonville State, who plays Central Arkansas this weekend. So Governors, big JSU fans this week.
So now let me ask you, Chris, you've been around FCS football a little bit more than I have here of late, but do you feel like the selection committee takes Western Kentucky 38-27 and whatever happens against Alabama? Do you think they take that into consideration when they're looking at at-larges?
Yes. They absolutely look at
strength of schedule,
and strength of record, and that is part of it. Now, I don't think Austin P has a chance at all,
especially at 7-4. I guess once they get done with, or once Alabama gets done with them.
Well, it's more because they'll only have 6 FCS wins because they played Presbyterian.
What are they, D2?
They're not FCS.
Oh, okay.
So that hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't. Austin P doesn't have a chance to get in the playoff unless they are the auto bid. And mainly because the ASUN right now is just not very good. Kennesaw's not great. Eastern Kentucky's not great, which, those teams are typically really good and would be really good for your strength of schedule, but they're not. Whereas, Samford and the teams in the SoCon right now are just, they're light years better.
Right.
So, and UTC, et cetera.
For the record, Presbyterian is in FCS. They play in the Pioneer League.
Did they move up? Okay. Well, that's good. That's news to me.
Yeah. No, they're not very good in the Pioneer League. They are 1-9 going into tomorrow's game against the Hatters of Stetson.
Home to 2 former Summit players, the Jollies.
Okay.
Christian and Caleb Jolly both playing at Stetson. I ran into their parents at an event not too long ago.
Well, there you go.
So
there's always a Nashville connection.
Always. It never fails. Speaking of the SoCon, though, East Tennessee State, they go to Davis Wade.
Okay, now who's East? What is ETSU's chance of winning? Let's do it like that.
3-7 ETSU against Mississippi State has a better chance of beating Mississippi State than 7-3 Austin P does over Alabama. 0.8. 0.8. It's just nominally better.
I didn't realize ETSU was 3-7.
Yeah, after they've actually lost 4 of their last 5, 4 in a row. Matter of fact, Mercer, Samford, Wofford, and Western Carolina. Now that's a murderer's row.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty tough schedule, but yeah,
and they do have a first year coach. Randy Sanders resigned at the end of their run last year, and former legendary Maryville coach George Quarles is now at the helm at ETSU, and apparently struggling, perhaps for the first time ever.
He's not sure what to do with that number on the right side being so big. But this is again, this is one of those games where here's the thing: Mississippi State, they're bowl eligible already, so that's one thing you don't have to worry about. They're not going to go in here and think we got to win this game to be bowl eligible, etc. But the Egg Bowl's coming up, and I think they still playing on Friday.
They're playing on Friday, or they're playing on Thursday night. I don't know.
I'm not sure which one. They play it either on Thursday or Friday, and that's that's kind of a short week for them. So you kind of want to be careful if you're Mississippi State. So maybe you don't get beat too badly. I mean, I'm looking for it. It is on Thanksgiving, 6:00. So
that'll be fun. That'll give us something to do next Thursday.
The Egg Bowl is appointment television on Thursday.
And not necessarily for the plays.
No, I mean, no, it's for everything
what goes
else
on the field. But yeah, I mean, there's no telling what's liable to happen in the Egg Bowl.
UMass, 11 o'clock at Texas A&M, has a 1.4% chance of winning, and they're 1-9 on the year. They have a better chance of beating Texas A&M.
I don't think that's a function of UMass.
No, it's not. UMass is led at the quarterback by Brady Olson, who has thrown for 2 touchdowns and 6 picks this year. Their leading rusher, Ellis Merriweather, has 3 touchdowns. That's tough.
And yet
32.5 points for Texas A&M. What would you take that?
Not with a 10-foot pole.
Is Texas A&M going to try and take out some frustration on UMass?
They're going to try to, and that's what's going to make it even worse when they don't.
There you go. Mentioned it earlier, Florida's at Vanderbilt. It's also 11 a.m. kick. This is a 14-point spread. Gators favored. The Commodores home dogs.
This is a huge game for Vanderbilt.
Hey, I think it's a winnable game for Vanderbilt.
I do too. It's unfortunate that they couldn't have picked one off earlier because, they're still battling for bowl eligibility. Now they got Tennessee next week, and that they're not going to win that ball game.
They're not.
Period.
No.
but this is tough. It would be nice if they could win this ball game coming off that Kentucky win last weekend, and have a little momentum going into the off season. So,
yeah, I think Vanderbilt covers this. I'm really curious to see what happens with Mike Wright, though, after what he did last week. We talked about it and how forcing Clark Lee's hand, he's kind of forced it.
Yeah, and we talked to Chris Lee earlier this week, and you don't know what AJ Swan's situation is as far as being ready to come out of concussion protocol or what, but you feel like Mike Wright certainly gets this start, and I've kind of said it all year. I feel like he's a guy that gives them the best chance to win. Now, the next college football game I coach will be my first, and Clark Lee has a far better grasp of all that, but I just think his dual threat ability gives Vanderbilt an extra weapon offensively, and they can't have too many.
I definitely think that he's a problem for Tennessee next week if he's the starting quarterback. He's a much bigger problem than AJ Swan is because of that. I mean, you saw you've seen the mobile quarterbacks and what they've been able to do to Tennessee if they can break contain, because that front seven does get so much pressure. If they're not able to contain, it's over. I mean, so yeah, I would not be surprised to see Vanderbilt win. I also wouldn't be surprised to see Florida blow them out. I mean, Florida's been playing a lot better as of late. So,
well, they needed to.
No question. Georgia, Kentucky is in our pick'em. Western Kentucky at Auburn. If you'd asked me 3 weeks ago, I'd have said Western Kentucky's winning this game. But right now, I don't think so. I think Auburn is just playing they're playing with so much emotion that it's hard for me to pick against Auburn. Now they are a 5.5 point favorite at home.
Yeah, I mean,
Western puts up points, man.
Western puts up points, but Auburn, like you said, is playing with a lot of emotion right now. Cadillac has got them playing at a different level, and I certainly feel like they cover 5.5.
The last time Western Kentucky and Auburn played, Carnell Williams ran 8 times for 71 yards. So there's that.
I guarantee you this. Carnell Williams will run for more than 71 yards Saturday.
God, he runs up and down the sideline. I don't know how he does it. It's a good thing they don't have Trooper Taylor out there because they just put him on treadmills. Just put him on treadmills because, my goodness, flying up and down the field. But
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I miss Troop in his towel. Robbie Ashford has kind of he was baptized a little bit by fire.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm glad to see him kind of getting his footing. Still don't think he's a very good thrower. I didn't think he was a very good thrower in high school, but
he didn't have to be.
He really didn't have to be because he had George Pickens. Just throw it to that guy and let him go get it.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
oh.
Robbie. I covered Robbie one time, and they played Pinson Valley, and I think he was a freshman or a sophomore, and it was Pickens' senior year. And yeah, kid was just throw it up.
Throw it up.
And Bo Nix was the other quarterback in that game. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun to cover.
I bet.
Yeah. Tennessee, South Carolina is in our pick'em. Ole Miss at Arkansas, 6:30. This is, Ole Miss at Arkansas has not been easy for the Rebs.
I don't know what to make of Arkansas at this point.
Well, if KJ Jefferson's playing, then you feel like they got a shot. And apparently Vegas must think he is because Ole Miss is only a 2.5 point favorite. And here's the thing. Arkansas is battling for bowl eligibility.
Mm-hmm. They're 5-5.
And Ole Miss coming off that loss to Alabama, which normally would mean, Alabama's probably broken Ole Miss. So I don't know.
I don't know though. I mean, I think Ole Miss is less likely to be broken by Alabama than a lot of other teams.
Because they just don't expect it.
But maybe.
Yeah. I thought Ole Miss played really well against Alabama, just couldn't get the win.
I thought their play calling late was a little suspect.
Yeah. I'll agree absolutely. This one's going to be a good game. It always is a good game. So I expect to be able to watch to watch that one at 6:30 on SEC Network, because also at 6:30 is New Mexico State and Missouri. That's going to be absolute trash. But on ESPN2 at 8:00, LSU hosting UAB. A lot of folks talking about UAB as a potential upset opportunity here, and I just
based on what?
I mean, if Bill Clark was there, sure. I could see it.
Based on what?
But he's just not, and this is not a great UAB team. Now, a lot of folks
and this is a pretty good LSU team, guys. I mean, what are they? Number 6?
A lot of folks looking at that Arkansas game from last week and putting way too much stock in it. The field was literal ice. I mean, you can't put stock into that. You just can't. UAB's not going to win this game. And it's not going to be that close. It'll be the first time this year that UAB has lost a game by more than a single possession, though.
Well, they're going to lose it by more than a single possession.
And it'll be the first time this year that's the case.
I don't know. I don't know why anybody would think that. What time's that game? It's late. It's 8:00.
It's 8:00 Central.
It's a non-conference 8:00 kick in Baton Rouge. There's nothing there that tells me upset.
Not a thing. Not a thing. UAB is playing for bowl eligibility, though. They've got this game, and then they've got, I think, what starts with a C. No, La Tech next week at La Tech. So they just stay in Louisiana. But, La Tech not very good, but UAB trying to keep that bowl streak alive. I don't think they're going to get there this week.
I don't believe so.
No, that's it for the SEC, and interesting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are looking for the schedule, there it is.
We do love our graphics.
Yeah, So that's the schedule for this week.
Note that those times are Eastern.
Note that those times are Eastern. Yes. Please remember that. Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a break here, and when we come back, we get into the rest of the college football world and make our picks in college football pick'em right here after this short break on Main Street Sports Today.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
All right, welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Last week, we did not pick.
Last week did not pick. Week before, did pick you. Let's see. I went 7-3. Got to 49-40 for the year. You and Justin were each 6-4 2 weeks ago. You are now 50-39. Justin joined us late. He's 25-24. So,
what did you say your season record was?
49-40.
So we're just jockeying, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The system 59-46 on the year and is dropping drastically. By the way,
some cracks in the system's foundation, huh?
Cracks in the system's foundation. I went from like being 117th in the country to 3,000. Still in the 96th percentile though, which is pretty impressive.
That's not bad.
We start in the Big Ten with the Fighting Harbaughs at home. Number 3 Wolverines taking on the number 21 Illini.
Oh.
Bert is in the house. He'll be in the big house on Saturday. That's an 11 o'clock kick on ABC. I'll be watching this one. Let's go with Justin. Justin,
what's the number?
Oh, I'm sorry. 17.5.
For who?
Michigan.
Okay.
I love me a good Harbaugh fight. I'm gonna go Michigan on this one.
You're going Michigan to cover 17.5.
Yes.
All right.
Book it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, look at that. Spicy.
I don't think there's any way Michigan. I don't think there's any way Michigan is going to let. What is his name? I call him Bert, and I can't.
Brett
Bielema.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way he's going to let Brett Bielema take him out of a shot at the college football playoff. And he knows that if he does lose to Ohio State, he needs some style points. So I'm going with the Wolverines as well.
You know what we were saying a little bit ago about Texas A&M and UMass?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get that feeling here. I think Michigan wants style points in this one. I don't think they're going to be able to get them. I think they win the game. I think Illinois covers 17.5.
Okay.
I think they've got a little pride going here.
Game number 2, 11 o'clock on ESPN3. The Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana travel to Tallahassee, take on the number 19 Seminoles. Florida State a 23.5-point favorite at home.
I'm gonna go home dogs, bro.
No, they're not home.
No.
I mean, not home. Sorry, I just like saying that term.
You like Florida State?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Seminoles for sure.
I definitely think this is a different Florida State team than the one we saw in week 1. I don't know that they cover 23.5 though. So I think I'm going to go with the Cajuns on this one.
Yeah.
Did you not hear me?
I did not because
I'm
I
sorry.
lost you. That's okay.
Gotcha.
You were saying you think this is a different.
Yeah, this is a different Florida State team. I'm going to go with Louisiana.
You're going with Louisiana to cover?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going with Florida State. I think, again, I feel like they, coming down the stretch here, have something to prove. I think that Norvell kind of needs to build some momentum here late. I think they kind of got some things going in their direction, and I think they, and obviously not style points necessarily, but I think they need a big win here, and I think they can get one at home.
I think 20. That's a lot of points, man.
It is a lot of
24
points.
is
24 is a lot of points.
Yeah. College Game Day built by the Home Depot. Going up to Montana. There'll be a Montana State as the Montana Grizzlies come to town in the, what do they call it? The Battle of the Wild or something.
I don't know what they call it.
Hold on. I got to come up with it because that's, what is the name of it? Oh, that's so
the hook, huh?
That's so frustrating. It's they play for the Great Divide Trophy, which is a pretty cool trophy, I guess. It's got a cool name. Brawl of the Wild.
Brawl of the Wild?
Brawl of the Wild. You got the Grizzlies and
the Bobcats.
And the Bobcats. So I feel like a Grizzly wins that most of the time, right? Montana 7-3 on the year. Montana State 9-1. Montana State's a 2.5 point favorite.
Hail State. I'm going with Montana State.
Do either of you watch Yellowstone?
Yep,
I do not.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They're trying to take our land.
Well, at the beginning of the episode, of the season premiere, John Dutton is elected governor, and the balloons that they let go at the party were navy blue and gold. Also, the colors of the Montana State Bobcats. So with that, I'm going to go with the Bobcats to cover. I'll never bet against John Dutton.
You can't. He always comes. He always
comes out on top.
Yeah.
So you can see that one at 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus.
I am going to make it a clean sweep and go with Montana State, just for the fact that, I mean, it's a 2.5 point spread. If you win,
you probably cover.
I mean, you're most likely going to cover if you're going to win. So
sure,
and because John Dutton,
of course,
yeah,
go for it.
Too.
Go for it. 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Big 12, number 15, Kansas State at West Virginia, coming off that big win at home against Oklahoma. West Virginia, the home dogs, 7.5 points are the Mountaineers. This is an interesting game because I don't know any like specific information, but if Adrian Martinez is playing, then I got to think that Kansas State wins this thing.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah,
man, I don't know. I kind of like West Virginia. I don't know why. I'm gonna go Mountaineers to be the home dogs and get it done.
So you're taking the Mountaineers.
Listen,
Yeah.
I need Kansas State to win this thing because I need Kansas State to beat TCU in the Big 12 championship. So I'm going Kansas State in a romp.
In a what?
A romp.
A romp.
They're going to win handily.
Romping.
Yes. I think. Oh well, what do I think? I want to go with K-State, but West Virginia at home, and you never know what kind of weather you're going to get over there either. I don't know that the weather is. I don't know that the weather is a lot different in Morgantown versus Manhattan necessarily when it's at its worst, but. I don't think I trust Neil Brown. I'm going with K-State.
That's a good thought there. That's a good thought there. It's not supposed to rain. It's supposed to pretty well be sunny. Tomorrow, according to AccuWeather.com. So I'm guessing should be just fine. 2:30, CBS, number 1 Georgia, and Kentucky coming off their loss to Vanderbilt. Was that a trap game? Is that what happened?
Kentucky was looking forward to Georgia
I mean,
coming in there. Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeesh.
exactly what it was.
Number
Georgia
one,
at
Georgia,
Kentucky.
22.5-point dogs are the Wildcats. Not surprisingly.
Ooh. Definitely gonna. I don't know, man. Future Colts quarterback Will Levis.
Oh, no matter how badly he plays. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what you're getting ready to say, Justin, but I'm just going to tell you, Georgia's going to cover all of this and then some.
Oh, I know. They're gonna cover their bases. They're gonna cover their tables with cloth. Yeah, I'm going Georgia for sure. The dogs to beat the home dog. Wait, is it at
Cats.
Yeah,
It's like-
cats.
Yeah.
Dogs versus cats.
Listen, the only question here is Kirby Smart going to let off the gas?
Well, you know, he did it. He did.
He's been known to do it
right?
a couple of weeks ago, from what I understand. That's what I heard. Yeah. He ain't letting off the gas because he's never let off the gas. Dogs in a romp.
What's next?
Miami at Clemson, and Miami is so bad that ESPN didn't even put their record on the picks here. They got everybody else's record, but not Miami's.
That's funny.
So Miami 5-5 playing for a bowl.
That was clearly a mistake, an oversight, right, Chris?
It must have been.
Yeah,
poor Miami. Now, Mario Cristobal has been in the news. He's told his parents, "Come get your kids if you don't like their playing time." Apparently, this is junior.
And some parents are probably taking him up on it,
which is perfectly fine. I think Mario Cristobal was kind of hoping that some would.
Yeah.
Get these guys out of my hair.
That wasn't a request. That was a demand. Come
yeah.
Exactly. I'm done with them. Yeah. Yeah. What's the number?
The number is 19.5 in favor of the home Clemson Tigers. It's a 2:30 kick on ESPN. So they'll be touching Howard's Rock in the middle of the afternoon.
Ooh, I'm gonna go. Honestly, it really didn't matter what the number was. I was going against Miami, just because I know they got really nice prospects coming down the pipe, but they're not there yet. So I'm gonna go Clemson for sure to cover.
Oof, I don't know, man. I mean, Miami just kind of has this way of showing up in these big games, and they have all year long. But I mean, they only lost by 3 to North Carolina. They got drilled by Florida State, but they did just beat Georgia Tech, and I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to get beat by 19.5 points. I'm going to go with Miami.
Wow. You just talked me into it because I had actually written Clemson down. But whenever I pick Clemson,
they screw you, huh?
They really piss me off. So I'm going with the Hurricanes.
2:30 on ABC. Number 2 Bucks in Maryland taking on the other Tagovailoa, Talia. And Maryland is a 27.5 point home dog.
Whoa. What's their record?
They are 6-4.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I hate this for Mike Loxley. But yeah, I think Ohio State will cover 4 touchdowns in this one, just because I feel like they think they need style points.
Yeah, they need to show out, and I'm going to go with a wise phrase that I heard recently. They're going to romp the opponent. You guys can use that if you'd like.
I think this would qualify as a romp. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think Ohio State wins it. I don't think they've won by fewer than 30 points this year. Outside of that Penn State game.
And Maryland's not Penn State, huh?
So it just feels like they've beaten like when they blow people out, when they beat people, they blow them out. Now Northwestern's a little different because that was the wind was a little crazy and it was going to be a run fest. But yeah, I mean, when they play these teams like, Wisconsin 52-21, Rutgers 49-10, Michigan State 49-20, Iowa 54-10. They don't play around with teams like this. These are the days of losing to Iowa State in the middle of the season, or teams like them, are over for Ohio State. I think Ryan Day has them ready. So going to go with the Bucks. And 6 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. I don't know why we're picking this game. 7-3 Boise State at 7-3 Wyoming. Yeah. So sure. It's a 12.5 point spread in favor of the Broncos, not the Cowboys. So yeah. Anybody need any information on their last 5 games?
Yes, please use it in a sentence for me.
What is the origin of the word? Boise State lost to BYU, if that tells you anything, at home. They did beat Colorado State 49-10, while Wyoming only beat them 14-13. So,
okay.
If they were playing on the blue field, this would be a little easier pick, I think. But I am going to go with the Broncos.
The line has moved to 14. It's moved a 1.5 since.
Who's the dogs?
Wyoming
is
at home.
Okay.
They are home dogs.
Home dogs. I'm gonna go. I think so if Montana is the Dutton, pride and joy, I'm assuming Wyoming is some sort of rival. So I'm gonna go with Boise State. Just to keep, JD.
I'm going to take Boise State, but 70% of folks are taking Wyoming in this one.
Against the grain.
To cover.
Josh Allen ain't walking through that door. But apparently neither is Kellen Moore or Brian Harsin.
Well, you might want one of those back.
All right, here we go. 6 o'clock, ESPN, number 5, Tennessee. 20.5 point favorites against South Carolina. The line has since moved to 22, by the way.
20.5.
We're picking 20.5.
We're picking 20. It don't matter. I'm taking UT.
Hendon Hooker puts up the game of his life, ends his last game as a Vol, or maybe not. Sorry, not last game as a Vol. My apologies. Last regular season.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Because
we got Vandy next week.
Well, he's gonna kill it. Okay, so I'm gonna go.
He is, in fact. Jalen Hyatt is going to have all the touchdowns, all the yards, all the everything, and it's not going to be close. Tennessee covers 20.5 in the first half, much less the game.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It's actually going to be a little ugly, I think.
It very well could be.
Just not good.
And finally, we talked about it earlier. I didn't realize it was in the pick'em, but UAB 14.5 point dogs at LSU. 91% of the general public on LSU here, which means UAB is definitely covering 14.5.
You said 90%?
91%.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to go UAB for sure. I mean, LSU, sorry.
Chris, are you going UAB to cover?
This is one of those where you go, what does Vegas know that I don't know?
What do they know?
So I'm going to take UAB in this one as a flyer. And I don't know what that does to LSU's playoff chances, but
I think LSU has too much on the line. I think it's a night game. I think it's in Tiger Stadium, and
UAB has won in Tiger Stadium at night.
Okay.
Nick Hayes, baby, beat Nick Saban.
Okay, well,
it was 1998 or whatever, but
I don't think they win in Tiger Stadium tomorrow. I'm taking LSU to cover.
Well, I don't think they're gonna win, but
it's
probably. I don't know what the hell Vegas is thinking, but they must be thinking something that I ain't seen. So,
yeah, well.
So, Mo, have you seen this rift between North Carolina and Ohio State with CJ Stroud and Drake May?
No.
So apparently Ohio State fans are all threatened because Drake May has better stats than CJ Stroud, and folks are like, hey, this redshirt freshman over here is 9-1 on the year, by the way, in case y'all haven't noticed, and he's got better stats than CJ Stroud. Why is he not getting some love? Blah, blah, blah. North Carolina doesn't play anyone is what the argument is, right? The strength of schedule. And so UNC Barstool, the Barstool account from North Carolina has put out a thread that says Ohio State schedule outside of Penn State includes Arkansas State, Toledo, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Michigan State, Iowa, Northwestern, and Indiana.
Yeah.
There's a slight edge in competition, but if you want to argue strength of schedule, your name has to be Hendon Hooker. Well, ACD, yeah, exactly. I thought, well done. Because
that's awesome.
Because ACC defenses are trash, right? Well, opposing defenses, the average rank of opposing defenses that Ohio State plays in scoring defense, 59th. Tennessee, 59th. North Carolina, 66. So it's pretty close. The argument that CJ doesn't even play full games. He says this is a cope for OSU fans claiming Drake is, quote, stat padding, when in fact it's quite the opposite. All of these games, and he puts up Wisconsin, where they won 52-21, 49-20 over Michigan State, 54-10 over Iowa, and 56-14 over Indiana. He said CJ Stroud picked up 12 touchdowns in the second half of these games. If anybody's stat padding, it's CJ.
It's him.
Now, as of 11/17, as of yesterday, okay, Drake May ranks first in the country in passing touchdowns, total yards per game, points responsible for, and points responsible for per game. He is third in passing efficiency, fourth in QB rating, and fifth in completion percentage. Drake May might actually be a Heisman candidate as a redshirt freshman.
Jeez. Wow. Okay. Barstool pulling out all the receipts, huh?
That's impressive. I mean, he was never on my radar, but now I'm kind of like, okay, Drake May for Heisman. I mean, if it's not going to be Hendon Hooker, then
if it's not going to be Hendon Hooker,
then
it definitely should not be CJ Stroud.
I agree.
But he is going to get the Midwestern vote. I mean,
which is a pretty big one.
Yeah. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I thought so too. So anyway, that's going to do it for the show. Now you know, before you go, make sure to follow us tonight at @MS_sports today. I'll be retweeting from across the mid-state. You can also follow Main Street Preps. They'll be retweeting from folks from across the mid-state as well in high school football. And follow us.
I'll be live tweeting from.
That's right.
Paige at Nolansville.
From Paige Nolansville. It's going to be a good one. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. It's been a great one. For Justin back in the studio, I'm Chris Yao Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.